Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to take some time and talk about the bench press. And more specifically, I wanted to talk about the importance of a solid setup in your bench press and being consistent in order to press the most weight possible. So as we work through my warm-ups here, this was me working up to top sets of 4 at RPE 8, which ended up being 400 pounds even for these 4s. First thing I want you to notice is I am setting up and taking each and every rep seriously, starting with the bar all the way up until my working sets, right? My setup should be the same, what I'm focused on, and, really just practicing my technique every warm-up that I do. And I would like that to convey that to you all, how important that is, because every rep you do is a rep where you're teaching your brain how to do the movement and how to get better. So if you're, messing around and just flopping down on the bench for warm-ups, you're going to fall back into those habits later on whenever you have heavy sets. So now that we've got that out of the way, I want to go into some of the more specific details of what makes a good bench press setup. And this is going to, change from person to person, but the same fundamentals should remain. The first thing that you want in a solid bench press setup is, first off, a stable base, because, the bench press is unique in that your shoulders are free floating, right? Whereas your hips for a squat or a deadlift, they're literally connected with bone. You have to stabilize your shoulders yourself with your back musculature. So whenever you're laying back on the bench, you should be focusing on squeezing your shoulder blades together as hard as possible and keeping your shoulders very stable. And what this kind of results in is having your chest up. It's going to give you a bit of a natural arch. And I know whenever you hear me say you have to arch, you're going to think of these outrageous arches that you see some powerlifters do. And trust me, I'm envious of those powerlifters. But all I'm saying is get your chest up, right? Right here in my setup, that's where I'm trying to force my chest up. And then secondly, you want your feet to be planted firmly on the ground, preferably with some tension. That way, if you have any side-to-side motion on the bar, your feet are going to stabilize you. So here I have slowed down this top set. Now that we've gotten some of those fundamentals out of the way, you'll watch what I am thinking here is really to plant my feet. And then at this point, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, and I use the bar to kind of dig my back into the bench and build some tension through my hips all the way to my knees and my feet, right? You can see that kind of shimmy there. And then I push back towards the bar and unrack it. At this point, my butt's off the bench, and I'll slowly bring it down by arching my back. Now, this puts me in a super stable position to bench press. And if you've seen my other bench press video, a focus of mine is to keep your elbow under your wrist to have appropriate power transfer, and then push through your legs back towards your face. All right. So hopefully that provided some insight to you all as far as the importance of a setup in the bench and what I think about whenever I'm setting up on the bench. If you all have any questions or things you want me to go over in future videos, please let me know down below. As always, like and subscribe, and happy lifting.